All right, welcome back, everybody. I'd like to finish off, not finish off quite this tutorial series, but have a look at one more set of tools before we move on to our 3D printing world. Um, and these tools can be really handy for that. So I would like to look at them. There's a lot more to SketchUp we could do, and you could get way, way better with lots of extra tutorials there. But we are really just doing a crash course here. The two tools I'd like to look at are the offset and the FollowMe tool, which can be really handy for 3D printing. The offset tool is probably the most common one that you're going to be looking at. So the offsets tool is really, really handy for creating a shape. So for instance, let's say I've got this shape here and I wanted to create some kind of housing. Maybe in class we would have done an Arduino housing or something like that. Like so. I've got some kind of shape and I'd like to create some walls for this. So I could easily, measure in each one to make sure that the walls were all the same thickness or something like that. However, the offset tool makes this super quick. All you have to do is select your offset tool, grab a face, and then essentially just drag like so. And you'll see that it creates an exact copy either on the inside or the outside of the shape that you've got. So this is really, really handy for, let's say I wanted to make a Arduino housing that that had, I don't know, let's say 2 millimeter thick walls or something like that. Well, as we get closer, you can see we're right in there. But let's say, I go to, undo that. Try that again. Just type 2 millimeters and hit enter. And you can't quite see it. There's very, very thin, nice little walls there that I could then zoom in on and say, well, I'm going to use my push-pull tool and I'm going to grab that tiny wall there. Oh, there we go. Had it. And then I'm going to make these 15 millimeters tall. Now we've created a nice little walled setup here. Obviously, that's way too big for an Arduino, but you get the idea, I hope, there of being able to create this nice little offset notion. And is great for any kind of time you need an exact copy, smaller or larger of something, inset into it, which is pretty common for 3D printing. Just because remember, I get often a lot of people would, let's say, pull that up and then simply delete this and create that. Well, this is not something that you can 3D print. It will never 3D print. It won't work properly because the wall, this wall here in this dimension is has zero dimension. It is a 2D flat surface. So this has no thickness, which means we can't actually print this. It would be a wall with zero thickness. It would just fall over, or it doesn't in fact exist in the real world. We need at least, an atom thick piece of material for it to be possible, and probably a lot thicker for our 3D printing. In fact, the minimum you could 3D print as far as a thickness would be a single strand of plastic, which would be on our device 0.4 millimeters. So you've got to have some kind of dimension there or some kind of thickness. Later on, some people might say pull out the dimensions, the walls like so to do it, but the offset tool makes that just way easier. Now, the next one I want to look at is something called the FollowMe tool. And the FollowMe tool is really handy for either doing some nice designs and details on a model that you've already got, or to create kind of unusual shapes that you might need. So The idea behind a follow me tool is that it needs two parts. The first is a path. This is like a road or something that's going to follow. This could be a line, this could be an edge of a tool, or we even got this freehand tool here that I'm going to draw. I'm just going to draw a weird little arc here. So for more of an organic shape. You can see there is my little line. So this is going to be my path. We're not actually going to use this in the end. And what we need is something that's at 90 degrees to this path. So I'm going to grab myself a circle here. And I'm going to go up to this path. I'm just going to make click on that little dot, the end of the path there. And I'm going to make a little circle here like so. So you can see I've got this circle on the end of what looks like a string, if you will. And the idea is that the Follow Me tool allows you to extrude along the path. And there's two ways of doing this. The easiest way is just grab the Follow Me tool, and if it works, and it doesn't always work, is to grab that shape and kind of drag along the path. And you can see what's happening is it's creating a tube here. And we could keep on going if we want. Oh. And that is part of the problem when you do this in multiple steps. So I'm going to undo that and undo it. But that's one way of doing it. The easier and I find more reliable way is that you simply, once you've set this up, you click your path. So we have the path selected that's going to follow. We go and click the Follow Me tool. And notice the path has vanished. That's okay. It's still remembering it. And then we click the face we want to follow that path. Just click. And you will see it will zip along and follow that path and create this nice little worm that we've created here. And in fact, if you look on the inside, that path is still there. So you could delete that if you wanted to, and then I could fill in the gap. So this is a great way of creating kind of organic shapes sometimes, or unnatural shapes in a 3D world that we can't necessarily just model in SketchUp easily. The other thing you can do is use, say, an edge for your path. So for instance, let's grab that same freehand tool. And what I'm going to do is create this interesting, and this is nice for architectural stuff, this little chamfer here. I went a little bit too far there. And not quite there. Come on, you. Should have zoomed in a little closer. That's getting a little more complicated than I wanted to. Here, let's erase that one. Let's just use a line to make it work better. Here we go. Create an interesting little shape there. There we go. So now I've got this shape. It's a face, you can see there, and I could use the push-pull tool, the Follow Me tool, and follow along that edge. You can see we could create that. Now you could do that with just the push-pull tool as well. Here, the Follow Me tool allows me to very interestingly select the path as I did before. So I'm going to select that line, but I'm also going to hold down Shift and select this line, this line, this line, this line, and that line. And then click the Follow Me tool, and then click the face that I want. And you can see, I should have gone that last line as well. You can see that it has kind of chamfered that edge a little bit there. This is really handy if you wanted to create kind of a rounded edge or a softer edge thing for your robot piece, some part that interacted with another one or needed to slip in or slide somewhere. You can soften and use these edges for all sorts of different things, like so. So there's the Follow Me tool and the offset tool, both really, really handy for creating some of the designs you might need for your robots.